Okay, this is week 5. I'm going to narrate my class project. It's called Who Gives a Hoot About Biodiversity, and it's for the class Environmental Issues, Deforestation, Biodiversity Loss, and Overpopulation. My professor is Mr. Garrison. Biodiversity loss. Every species contributes to the health of an ecosystem in the same way that every member of a team or organization is necessary for its success. Although every species has a place in an ecosystem, some species, such as keystone species, take on a crucial role and are essential to its formation. Ecosystems connect all species and vice versa, and the extinction of a species serves as a reminder of this. An ecosystem might suffer grave consequences from the extinction of just one species. This demonstrates how crucial biodiversity conservation is, regardless of the species or biome being discussed. So here's an example of the problems that stem from the loss of a species in an ecosystem. The example that I'm going to use is the vanilla plant, thriving in East Africa. But since Melipona bees are not indigenous to that region, there's no natural pollinator there. This implies that the vanilla plant needs to be fully pollinated by hand in order to produce fruit. This really shows the imbalance that can happen when biodiversity is lost. Even if it's just one species that's not present, other species will be affected by that negatively. Burrowing owls are the species that I'm specifically going to have in the biodiversity spotlight for this presentation. Why are they so special, you might ask? Well, they're known to an ecologist as an indicator species that shows that the ecosystem is healthy and thriving. So we need to keep these birds around. They provide services to our ecology and our economy, as you will see outlined in the upcoming ecological framework model. So for my audience, what can you do to help? For the environmental conservationists, you can help raise awareness by using your networks and expertise to advocate the protection of this animal's habitat. Local government officials, you can create new policies that put animals and their habitat into consideration when land is going to be developed for any reason. The education system and all the teachers within it, you can help by letting our youth become aware and involved with their own educated opinions in the matter. To the community members, we have the ability to enact this. If we work together, we can bring this species back to a healthier population. Attend community meetings and write your local government. So this is my social ecological framework model. It starts down here where you can see the human population growth at the bottom. And as that increases, so does the need for more food. So therefore, agriculture is also increasing with that. With more agriculture, there then is the need for more urban development, which you see up here in the house. The more urban development that happens, I'll take you over here to the right-hand side of it, takes away habitat from the burrowing owl. So yes, it is more homes for humans, but it is taking away homes for the owls and diminishing their habitat, which you see it leading over here to the right. Eventually, it is needing more, leading to the point where we need more wildlife conservation. And that's really one of the big key points in here. Part of the feedback is that the more human population that we get, the less habitat there is for these owls, and the more of a need that there is for wildlife conservation. And that's where we're at with them right now. And of course, with there being less owls, they're not eating as many rodents. And I'll get to that here now. Over here to the left, it shows how the owls are actually helping us by consuming those rodents. rodents are known for spreading disease to humans and other things. So they actually help prevent us from getting sick. In that way, they also save us money by the amount of crops that are eaten by pests like rodents each year. That's reduced because of the rodents that these birds are eating. They also help maintain our soil quality. That's a huge ecological benefit that they bring us. So they are helping us a lot there as well. And of course, with less people being sick, there are going to be an increase in more human population. It's just going to add to that. Conversely, on the other side, you see the red arrows going down, because if the owls are not in high numbers, they're going to eat less rodents. It's going to equal people being more sick, or at least out of work and not making money, which is going to impact us economically. But it's going to take down the human population. So these owls are actually helping us quite a bit just by doing what they do, and providing their niche for the ecosystems. And all we're doing is needing more conservation, and that has yet to resolve. That's where it kind of stopped, and it all feeds back to that point is where I got with it. So something to think about, and it definitely opened my eyes. Successful management. Here are some methods that prove to be beneficial and effective for management in the issue with the burrowing owls. The juvenile overwintering project. This one was specifically for predation that happens, and it is one of the larger reasons that their population is declining outside of just a human factor. They are easily, predated by predators like cats and dogs and even other birds. So the juvenile overwintering project kept them safe and made sure that they were able to get back out there and continue benefiting their species at the beginning of the next year. Another one is different breeding programs actually help keep their numbers up as well. Habitat restoration and protection, this is a big one. And this one's very universal, I think, for a lot of conservation projects, if not all conservation projects. Habitat restoration and protection is key to success, because without their habitat that they're adapted to, that they've evolved to be in and live in and thrive in, without that, they're not being left in a situation or position that is aimed at the most success for them. So for them to be the most successful, their natural habitat is vital to the successful conservation. Artificial nesting boxes have also been used successfully and even used in those breeding programs that I was talking about. So these four methods are four that have been found to be successful, the most of which is the juvenile overwintering project. That one was highlighted as one of the more effective methods. So the pillars of success management methods that work, again, I'm going to outline. The juvenile overwintering project was found to be extremely beneficial. This project showed encouraging results, and this management method was aimed at preventing predation, which is one of the other primary causes for the decline in this species population. So I proposed the community get more aware and involved with the conservation for this species. Urban development and our government that drives all of it is given that power by we the people. The power there is limitless. This fits into my framework model by fulfilling the need that I found for wildlife conservation due to the urban development increasing. The relationship is directly proportional to the need for the conservation with this species. Future direction. I would like to see the conservation for this species continue. They are known to ecologists as the indicator species that shows that the ecosystem is healthy and thriving. So I'd like to see more of that. We need to keep these birds around. They do provide us with services to our ecology and economy, as I outlined in the framework model and previously stated. The methods for conservation can and will vary based on the specifics of the local issues at hand, but the conservation needs to keep happening until there is no need for it anymore. And that will be when there is balance restored and the ecosystem will be thriving with biodiversity. So the swag that I came up with, it really is just about community involvement, which includes interactive education and direct involvement with a few fun scavenger hunt games that will result in real effective wildlife conservation on a local level. So the QR code that you see above will be mailed on an invite postcard to specific postal codes that is basically the invitation to join the cause called I Give a Hoot. And it registers you for the activities that will lead to the increased population of the local burrowing owls. So the swag item is the QR code postcard invites mailed to targeted postal codes or geolocation. Again, it's called I Give a Hoot, which the QR code will take you to a site which is going to have a live nest cam accessed through the QR code. It's printed on those postcards, and it's all for community engagements. Now, the live nest cam features, it's a camera feed with multiple angles that showcases local burrowing owls in the wild, similar to what you'll see on zooniverse.org, or you'll see it on many zoos have this feature for their species, selected species. But it's going to be similar to that. And really what the objective here is to build community emotional attachments to these owls. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Meerkat Manor. It just encourages viewers to learn about their behaviors and personalities. So it's getting the community attached to these animals' personalities even, and giving them, making their personalities known, and just get to know the species inside and out, and their daily habits and what they go through and everything. So it really is going to have more of an effect if everybody's attached to them if there is development going to happen that could maybe negatively impact them. Okay, so the goal of this is to get people attached to them and for them to see how darn cute they are, really. The other portion of this project is going to be a map design. Now, there's going to be two different maps. One map is going to be highlighting planned urban development areas in the locality, and it's going to be outlined in red. The second map, which will be green highlights, will show where existing and live active burrowing owl habitats are ish. So the two together. So it's going to be an interactive overlay. So either if you were to obtain both maps, or if you teamed up with somebody that had the other map, you can overlay them and find out which area or which active nest site will be possibly affected by any possible development that's going to be coming up. So it really shows where to go for that next scavenger hunt, which is the next item I'm going to talk about here is a scavenger hunt, community-based, for conservation. And basically you're going around using these maps to find different clues that will lead you to specific general locale, maybe not specific just to protect the owls, but close enough to where it's going to be known that there's owls there, and they can see them on the cameras that that they're watching on a regular basis, to get different cues for their scavenger hunt. But by this point, hopefully, if it's done properly, they're gonna be in it. They're gonna be with it, and they're actually gonna carry out the rest willingly, and for more than just a prize. The prize is saving the owls. So at the end, all the clues will add up to an address. So they'll get it'll be on a posted envelope, and it's going to be the address of a local city official, a key city official at that. So, like, maybe the Secretary of Housing and Development for the community, or the mayor, or any relevant official that's going to have any part to do with urban development or have anything to do with the ecological protection for the area. And then the goal is anybody who gets to that point is going to write that letter and mail it to their official. And what this is going to do is raise awareness on the political side of things that has enough, strength and say to actually, make things happen. So it's going to not put necessarily pressure on them, but it is going to raise awareness within that side of our community and our government. So it's just getting another powerhouse on board with the cause. And once that's done, anybody who gets a reply back from the city officials can showcase that on the website that the Nest cams are on, which everybody's been watching, hopefully. And so you get a kind of spotlight on there if you get a reply back, and you'll get like a little bio on there with your picture or something like that, or some sort of a cool prize. But what this is going to do is everybody's going to watch and see what happens to these owls, or how the government or the urban planning is going to work around the owls, and that's the key point there. So that is my idea, and I think it would actually be kind of effective if everybody gets on board with it. So my action plan for distribution and awareness: number one, deployment of the Nest cameras and broadcasting. So first is to install the cameras and secure partnerships with local news channels and schools to broadcast the footage to everybody, engaging the students and allowing them to name the owls perhaps, or maybe have a contest, and whoever wins gets to name one of the owls, or something along those lines that gets them involved and makes them a part of it. I think that would really help a lot. The second would be the map distribution and interactive scavenger hunt. Now, the maps distributed via community centers, maybe schools, and through an online platform, or as part of the scavenger hunt. So it's going to be something you kind of have to earn or get, by applying some sort of effort. They're not just maybe going to be, given to you, but definitely accessible if you go for it. Maybe after passing a test about things that they can only know by watching the Nest cams, or learning about the species behaviors in detail after a little research or something, and organize maybe community events that for the scavenger hunt, encouraging involvement through games and also crafts, like maybe building those nesting boxes I was talking about that were quite effective for conservation. And so get them active with that part of it too. The number 3 is the letter writing campaign. The recognition guide participants to send letters to relevant city officials, included as their final scavenger hunt prize item. The prize includes the address of a relevant elected government position or city official that has a hand in overseeing the development projects. Feature participants who receive responses on a dedicated website section and local newspaper as a really nice title, like American Community Wildlife Hero or something like that. Just to give them that title that they earned. Target engagement through the USPS. So this one's where the postcards are going to go out with QR codes linking access to the NestCams network to residents in affected zip codes. So it's going to be very, very specially selected for the zip codes that it makes it their community that are actually living in this area, and it gets them out there and doing this for the wildlife in their own community. So, and this also further builds a localized community effort, gets everybody doing it together, and it makes the success that much more, meaningful. The social media and online engagement is also going to be a big part of this too. So social media platforms to stream owl footage, share maps and updates on scavenger hunt progress, and even maybe a few clues found on there, or by sharing, maybe you can get some sort of a prize or title or clue. Engaging followers and naming the owls, or maybe donations can be collected for that, just towards this cause. Sharing footage and raising awareness about the development impacts for the owls. So again, getting everybody out there communicating and talking about them, and getting them a step farther in that scavenger hunt to get to that prize. So the implementation timeline, phase 1, it's going to take about 1 to 2 months. That's where we're setting up nest cams and the initial broadcasting, mailing postcards with the QR codes on them with the invite. Phase 2 is going to be about 3 to 4 months, map creation and first community engagement through schools and local news. Phase 3, about 5 to 6 months, launching the scavenger hunt and letter writing campaign, and ongoing regular updates via maybe news or social media or community meetings. The feedback collection and adaptation of methods based on community involvement and responses from the city officials. So this is going to come from my annotated bibliography. The title here is Monitoring Burrowing Owl Populations and Implications of Burrow Reuse, Wildlife Society Bulletin. So the monitoring of burrowing owl populations is the topic of Rich's research, which focuses on the impacts of these birds' reuse of burrows. The study illustrates the need for conservation methods that protect burrowing owl habitat through time, and shows the need for population monitoring methods that show the best results. This is in line with my chosen topic of habitat loss due to urban development that burrowing owls are facing, because it focuses on one of the main solutions, which is the need for conservation that protect the habitat. It helped me realize that understanding of my research thus far is accurate, and the same understanding has been achieved by educated peers via their research. Standing on the shoulders of giants is how great breakthroughs have always been achieved throughout history. These scientists have given me the foundation to understand the issue, as well as determine a solution to the habitat loss issue that urban development is causing for these burrowing owls. This is an annotated bibliography covering my viewpoint on after reading several case studies. Here are some resources written in APA format. And I'd like to thank you for watching my presentation. Again, this is Michael Sides. Here's my contact information.